Welcome to Little Lantern Wisdom. I'm Emily. Tonight we're gently exploring 5 simple morning rituals that can steady your mood in just a few minutes. Come sit with me for a few minutes. Before the world begins asking things of you, there is a quiet space that still belongs entirely to you. It lives in that fragile stretch between waking and responding, before the headlines reach you, before the expectations gather, before you remember who everyone else needs you to be. And the emotional tone of your day often settles during those first few minutes, not because you planned it that way, but because your nervous system is listening. If the first thing it hears is urgency, it prepares for urgency. If the first thing it feels is pressure, it braces. But if the first thing it experiences is steadiness, something softer carries forward. Lately, I found myself wondering what people actually do in those first few minutes. Not what sounds impressive, not what belongs in a productivity book, just the real, ordinary beginnings. So I began asking people in my own life how they start their mornings. And what I learned surprised me. One of my dearest friends is a writer. Her days are spent in front of a screen, shaping words and meeting deadlines. She told me that before any of that begins, she drinks her coffee slowly and talks to her cats. She watches them stretch into the light, tumble across the floor, and she laughs. She said it reminds her that the day does not need to begin in seriousness. There can be softness first. My sister begins differently. She lights a candle in her kitchen while the house is still quiet. Sometimes she reads a short devotional. Sometimes she simply stands there and breathes. She told me that the flame helps her feel anchored, like she is choosing the tone of her day instead of letting it choose her. My massage therapist once shared that she spends the first stretch of her morning in complete silence. No music, no phone, no conversation. Because she holds so much emotional energy for others during the day, she begins by not adjusting to anyone at all. She just sits. She lets herself exist before she begins giving. Even my hairdresser laughed when I asked her this question. She said she stands by her brightest window while brushing her teeth and lets the morning light reach her face. She doesn't call it a ritual. She just says it helps her feel awake without feeling rushed. And a coworker of mine wakes a little earlier to write for 30 minutes before checking her email. She said that if she creates something first, no matter how small, she feels less reactive and more grounded for the rest of the day. None of these women described elaborate routines. None of them spoke about discipline or perfection. They spoke about meeting a need. And that is what stayed with me. Each of them noticed what tends to leave them tired by the end of the day, and they quietly answered that need in the morning instead. It made me realize that perhaps the point of a morning ritual is not productivity at all. It is protection. A small protection of your energy, of your steadiness, of the part of you that can so easily get swept into urgency. So tomorrow morning, you don't need to change everything. You don't need to wake earlier. You don't need a perfect plan. Maybe you simply ask yourself the same question I ask them. What would help me feel just a little steadier today? And then choose one small thing that feels like care instead of pressure. Small things, done gently, have a way of shaping whole days. I've started noticing my own mornings differently since those conversations, and I hope tomorrow you notice yours too. Until we sit together again, I'll keep the lantern lit for you.